Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an airline pilot, and welcome back to the InnyBuilds Airbus A350. Today we're going to fly Emirates Flight 23 from Dubai to Edinburgh. This will be an interesting one because Edinburgh features absolutely lovely Scottish weather at the moment, so I'm really looking forward to this. But first of all, let's get straight into the aircraft, and after a quick message from today's sponsor, Say Intentions AI, we'll get straight into the flight. If you're looking for an ATC add-on that can not just do your standard IFR A to B flight, but also other stuff like data link or even VFR and even a cabin crew simulation, then look no further than Say Intentions AI. We'll be using them for both the data link, the normal ATC, as well as our cabin crew in today's video. So if you like what you're about to hear, then check them out using the link in the pinned comment or the video description below. And with that out of the way, let's take a seat in today's Airbus A350, the Alpha 6 Echo X-Ray Alpha, which is Emirates' first Airbus A350. Now, we're going to start with the preliminary cockpit preparation down here. That's thrust levers idle, engine master levers off, engine start selector norm, landing gear levers down, the wipers are off. Then we can do a quick check of our battery conditions, making sure it's above 25 volts, and that's looking very good. And then we can go ahead and start up our batteries and our external power as well. The plane might need a little while to actually power up completely, so let's make good use of that time. Head down here into the OIS and the flight up status screen, do a SimBrief data import, and then we can head over into the ground services menu. Over here we are going to start with our catering services. Right now, we'll also connect the air conditioning unit so that we can get it nice and cool inside. Then let's move on to our load sheet where we can do the SimBrief import. And then let's move into the OFP and review our en route charts and our weather charts over here, because this is really where things are gonna get interesting today. So, starting with the basics, we are leaving Dubai, across the Gulf, then more or less in a straight line up to Edinburgh. Now, significant weather chart, completely clear for the first half of the flight, and then the second half features some turbulence over Europe up to flight level 400, so who knows, perhaps we are able to outclimb it, and then the same thing again getting into Scotland. Now, let's move to the part that's really going to be interesting today, and that is obviously the airport weather. So, starting over here, Dubai, 37 degrees, clear skies, and it is southeasterly winds today, so runway 12 left will be our departure runway. Now, this is where things are getting interesting. Have a look at the Edinburgh weather. Our estimated arrival time is 1900 UTC, so going down here, we have a wind becoming 260 at 30, gust 40, then we've got prop 30 tempo, gust 50 until 1700, and only thereafter, at 2000, the wind is gonna turn to 260 at 18, gust 30. In other words, the gust 40 over here is exactly what we are expecting for our arrival time. Now, the runway over there is more or less a runway 24. That means it's only a 20-degree crosswind component, but they have some absolutely lovely hills on the short final that we gotta fly over, and even with the slightest bit of wind, those can cause turbulence. With 40 knots, they will absolutely cause turbulence. So Edinburgh, very interesting weather conditions today. Now let's have a look at Manchester, which is our primary alternate. Again, arrival time around 1900, so we got 280 at 20, gust 35, the runway is a 23, so this is pretty much crosswind, and this is close to the maximum crosswind component as well, but it's legal and within all limits, so Manchester is a permissible alternate. Now, just going through the other airports that we've got available. Newcastle, gust 50, nah, ain't gonna do that. Birmingham is kinda okay. They only have 280, 15, gust 25, clear skies, so Birmingham should be alright. Now let's go ahead and have a look at what that's going to do with our flight plan. First of all, the standard checks and on-time departure means half an hour early arrival. We are uncritical with any of our weights. Flight level 380 and later flight level 400 will be our cruise levels. And now for the fuel section. So If we take Birmingham as alternate, that is an additional 1000 kilos of fuel. If we go a little bit further and say, okay, those thousands additional are granted, so let's just round it over here. So 49 tons would be the minimum takeoff, so 50 tons with alternate Birmingham. And now 1/2 an hour extra, that's another 2,300, which we gotta carry, so we gotta add down here around about 700, so let's add another 3 tons to that. So 53 tons of fuel should be good for today's flight. And with that out of the way, let's go down here and say fuel, planned 53, like that, set fuel, and we'll do that in an instant, or at least I would like to, cause but GSX is a piece of deep, so we can't do that. Alright, so we'll do everything, load with GSX. Let's see what's actually going to happen with this. Okay, lovely. So that is our preparation, or our flight plan analysis completed right down here. Then let's get going into the rest of our setup. So for the OIS, we've got the OFP on board. Let's do our preliminary performance calculations in here. So Dubai runway 12 left, I'm guessing, but we'll actually find out about it. So Dubai 12 left is in here. Let's quickly go down to our FMS already so that we can get the weather. A350 900, nav database is up to date. So init company flight plan request. Might take a moment for this to arrive. In the meantime, let's get out our table and most importantly our keyboard. And here's the plan, insert. Alright, and now we can go down to ATCCom. We'll be using say intentions today, D8s. Well, first things first, message record, check erased, lovely, D8s, update all. So, would you get me my ATIS, please? Looks like the data link is still asleep as well. After all, we've just got onto the aircraft. Just to be sure, yes, we are on say intentions. Good. So, technically speaking, this should work. But if it doesn't, we'll just do this for the time being, synchronize, and that is looking good. So, compute. Performance limit is 332, easy going. And last but not least, for the charts, Dubai search. So we'll take the APC East, we'll take the ground chart in form of the overview. And then we'll also need some sits of runway 12 left right, which we can pin over here. And that should be it. Lovely. Alright, good. So those are on board. What about the ATISs? Still not arrived. Okay. So be it. Maybe a little bit slow at the moment. Hopefully we'll get there later on. Okay, cool. So with that out of the way, we have made sure that our OAS is fully set up. Then, technical acceptance of our aircraft. So recall all for 3 seconds. And nothing in there, lovely. Then let's head down. So, on the door page, we have sufficient oxygen, rain repellent is normal, hydraulics are okay, and engine oil quantity, I'm being lazy over here. If we hit the starter, the FADEC cycling will start up as well. Since we don't run on the APU, we can do that. Oil quantities 19.1 are absolutely perfect. Lovely. So, the flaps are retracted, that agrees with the lever. The spoilers are retracted as well. Alternate brake check. So, brake released. Then, oh, down here's the accumulator. And that's looking good. Alright, and parking brake is set again. Lovely. With that, we can accept today's airplane for service. So let's go straight into the pre-flight procedures. So crew supply on, flight recorder on, ELT armed, ADIRS 1, 2, 3 on, and all the reset buttons are in. Now the lights are already set, we are still refueling, which might take a little while. Up here everything's set. We'll turn the temperature to the middle. Cabin is controlled by the purser. Fire test is checked. Cargo temperature control off. CVR tested. And all the rest is looking good. Now let's go down here. We have a QNH of 1000. And 1000 is set. So on the right hand side everything is set. Then getting down to the frequencies, we might actually need some charts. So terminal chart, pinned, AGC overview. So delivery 120.35 is set, and ground 118.35. Okay, also set. Then on VHF2 we're going to tune 1 to 1.5 and departure 8 is 131.7. Since the D8 isn't working, we might actually need that today. So we'll listen to VHF1, we'll listen to VHF2, we'll also get the interphone up and going. Then in the middle everything is set. On the right hand side you can listen to those same things. And since this is a flight with only 2 pilots, we'll use the transponder down here. Okay, cool. And with that out of the way, I suppose we're going to go right into the FMS setup. So, I've seen some pilots actually do it up here, while others are doing it down here. I guess it doesn't make too much of a difference, so let's just use our standard protocol over here. So, OFP on the left side, and then FMS on the right side. Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee, Dubai to Edinburgh, alternate in Manchester, flight level 380. Let's see about the temperatures at cruise level. That will be -46 and the tropopause in 55,000. So -46, enter, and tropopause 55,000. Enter. Crossing is 50 is good. So the IRSs are aligning. Departures, Dubai. Now, at this point, I would absolutely love to know our departure runway from the ATIS. So I tell you what, we are gonna get it.
50 advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact, you have information Bravo. Dubai International Airport, information Bravo. 0600 Zulu. Wind 140 at 10. Visibility 4. Sky conditions, no significant clouds. Temperature 38. Dew point 24. QNH 1000. Arriving runway 12 right. Departing runway 12 left. Transition level 150 advise on course heading, altitude.
Okay, so runway 12 left is selected. We'll be departing towards REDUP. So let's take the REDUP 3 Golf departure. Tempe and insert. Then we can have a look at that chart to check that it is correct. Okay, and you go into plan mode with the constraints, please. So the SID is straight ahead towards Astes below 5,000, right turn Delta Bravo 451, minimum 200. And that is a minimum, so I am going to delete this, because the FMS only knows at speed restrictions. Or maximum restrictions, but not minimum restrictions. Okay, then we continue towards Delta Bravo 460 above 4,000, maximum 220, 465, 466 above 70, 468 above 90, all that, and then via kicksock towards the read up. And that's all looking good. Initial most likely 5000 then. So that will be set up later. Okay, then our arrival into Edinburgh is going to be onto runway 24 with an ILS approach. The star will be the cockpit 1 Echo arrival, and we can insert this. Lovely. Now for the flight plan info, we can go on to the fix info page, and that's going to be Dubai 12 left, and then we need our runway track, which is 119. Like this. So let's see if we can actually quickly define the engine out waypoint. So new waypoint, and we'll call this one DXBX1. So from OMDB 12 left with a bearing of 119 and a distance of 25 miles. Store that, and now let's head back to the flight plan, fix info, and fix 2, and this will be Dubai X1. Okay, lovely. So that's in, and then let's also enter our step climbs already. There will be just one of them, which is at Sierra Romeo Tango, flight level 400. Actually, why are we in constant Mach? We want the step outs. Okay, this is better. So, Tempi and insert. Now, back to init, nav aids, nothing hard tuned, fuel and load. Let's see, 170.7. The CG is unknown for the time being, so I'm going to enter 25. We have ordered 53 tons of fuel. Don't have passenger figures yet, then let's find the fuel figures. And that's going to be an alternate of 3.7. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to enter 4.7 so that we actually have Birmingham in there. And the final is 2.3. Route reserve will be 3%, and the rest is looking good. And now on to the takeoff performance, which we can simply send to the FMS and confirm. Alright, that's with packs on, engine out, acceleration 1560. Insert, position monitor, OMDB 12 left. And then let's move on to the secondary flight plans. So, Sec 1, import active. So, insert next waypoint, that's gonna be DXBX1. Like that, hold. This is all looking good. Alright, and then from here, new destination, back to Dubai. And we'll return with an ILS approach onto runway 12 right. And that looks good. Alright, cool. Then let's go back to the secondary index and secondary number 2, where we are going to do a copy of the active flight plan. On the flight plan page itself, all that good stuff is entered already, so let's go back to performance. And with that, we are done with the FMS setup. Okay, good. So next, let's move up on the FCU. So QNH 1000, that stuff is set. Initial 5000, I suppose. Let's make it 5.1 until the clearance is received. And then let's go ahead and download the ANF. Might take a little while. Dubai, after all, isn't the smallest of all airports. Well, and with that, we are mostly set up for our flight already. So you can get some data up here as well, of course. Like that. Alright, cool. And then we are basically done. So let's move over to the side here for a moment. Ground from flight deck, beware your ears, oxygen test. and that is looking wonderful. Good. So, let's see if we can actually grab an IFR clearance. So, request, clearance, departure. We're at gate Foxtrot 5, and we had listened to the ATIS, but what was the identifier again? Yankee. Okay, so Dubai Fox 5, ATIS Yankee, A359, destination Edinburgh. Transfer to mailbox, and that looks good. Send. Okay, and that thing's out. So far, so good. Now, we forgot to do the company wind request. Let's do that now. Received, insert. Alright, and then we'll have 14.5, 6.9. I don't believe that. Should be more like 7 hours or so. I don't know, 3,284 nautical miles versus... what are you doing? 3,280. Okay, that's alright. Just the time is a little bit very quick. Okay though. That's the basic setup down here. We'll see if the clearance is going to come via data link, otherwise we are going to have to get it by voice. In the meantime, let's go ahead and start our departure briefing, please. Okay, so we are going to depart of Dubai, runway 12 left actually. The departure is going to be the Redoubt 3 Golf departure. Initial climb 5,000, MSA 3,000 in that sector, and actually 3,000? I think it's a bit higher, isn't it? Nope, 3,000. Okay, and extra fuel and time for the moment is actually plenty. So right now we're carrying... Well, that doesn't make sense. 53 is correct though. Yeah, no, it's not 24 tons extra. There is something still wrong there. Okay, that's it for the briefing part though. At least from my side. It should be about half an hour extra. We'll take it like that. So for our taxi we actually have no hotspots for that taxi routing. Parking at Fox 5. Actually, let's bring that up over here. That's a little bit more social. So we're parking down here. Taxi most likely Zulu Lima 1 or something like that to the full length runway 12 left. Stop margin for our rejected is probably a couple 100 meters. Now, in case of an engine out, we'll continue on the runway track to the Dubai X1 point. Pick up a holding over there, and then we decide on the further course of action. An immediate return as possible. We'll be close to, but not below the maximum landing weight. So if we do make an immediate return, then overweight landing procedure it is. Now, as long as there is no fire, we can kind of abbreviate that APU on, APU bleed on, and that's it. Now, I don't have anything special or non-standard. Do you see threats for this departure? No? Lovely, me neither. So that's our briefing complete. Small word just to mention it, 220 knot restriction over here. And the clean speed is 206, so cleaning up no problem at all. Alright, cool. Do you have any questions? No? Lovely. Then that's our departure briefing completed. We're still refueling, so we can't do the checklists yet. Let's see what our boarding is doing. No information. Anything down here? Likewise, no information. Okay, then we just have to wait until everything is finished. So I tend to say I will speed this one up a little bit, and then I see you all when we are actually ready for departure. Alright, boarding is almost through. We have, of course, not received any clearance via data link, so looks like the data link is actually out of service in Dubai today. It shouldn't be in the airplane, theoretically. So yeah, tell you what, we gotta go and request IFR clearance by voice. Dubai delivery, Emirates to Alpha Yankee information, Yankee request IFR clearance to Edinburgh. So, as always, they are not in a hurry.
Emirates to Alpha Yankee. Information Yankee is current. Cleared to Edinburgh via the Rider 3 Golf departure. Then as filed. Departure runway 12 left. Initial climb to 4,000 feet. Departure on 122.5 squawk 4645.
Emirates to Alpha Yankee is cleared to Edinburgh via the Rider 3 Golf departure. Then as filed, runway 12 left. Initial climb 4,000. Departure 1225 squawk 4645.
Emirates to Alpha Yankee. Read back correct. Ground is on 118.35 safe flight, sir.
118.35, Emirates to Alpha Yankee. Okay, so runway 12 left, Rider 3 Golf is confirmed. Initial climb 4,000. Departure 122.5.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard Emirates Flight 23 departing from Dubai.
And squawk 4645.
We ask you to take your seats according to your boarding passes and stow your hand luggage in the overhead bins or under the seats.
Alright, cool. So that's everything done down here. Then by now we should have our final load figures as well.
Thank you for choosing Emirates, and we wish you a pleasant flight.
So let's see, zero fuel weight is 170.7. That checks. CG 29.9. And that is 292 passengers. Right, block fuel, they've only loaded 49. Why? We wanted 53. Do we really need to call back the fuel truck? No, we just gotta do instant refueling. That's easier. Alright, so fuel is on board, everything is on board. Takeoff weight is now 223.1, and the takeoff performance in here is with a lot less. Let's 223. I'll do 5 just to be on the safe side. The weather is looking good. 12 left. Let's take a small intersection here, 3,700 meters, and compute. Right, looks good. Send to FMS. And confirmed. Lovely. Okay, cool. So that's done. Then let's tell GSX to prepare the position for pushback and departure, please. Or I tell you what, I'm of the cautious side. I will start the APU before I do that. Refueling is complete, so the belts and the pumps are coming on. Okay, cool. So, cockpit preparation checklist, please. Gear pins and covers removed. Fuel quantity 53 tons balanced. And seat barrel ref QNH 1000. Cockpit preparation checklist complete. Alright, lovely. That stuff's done. Then let's get going. Salam alaikum, ladies and gentlemen from the flight deck. This is your captain speaking. My name is Emmanuel. In the name of Emirates, I would like to welcome you aboard our Airbus A350 on our flight to Edinburgh. Today's flight time will be about 7 hours, and we would like to apologize for this delay during our departure. However, we still expect an on-time arrival as we are going to fly a little bit faster for you today. The weather en route is going to be mostly smooth with only some occasional turbulence, and we will update you on the arrival weather when we start our approach into Edinburgh. For the time being, just sit back, relax and enjoy the flight with us, and if there is anything we can do for you to make it more comfortable, please do not hesitate to ask any of our charming cabin crew. Thank you very much for your attention and once again welcome on board. Ground from flight deck? Go ahead. Okay, so the APU is online. You can remove all the ground power and the rest of the ground equipment. Park and brake is set, and then we are going to be ready for pushback momentarily. So, slides are arming. Yep. Why is the one left not arming? Okay, I tell you what. Open one left. Close one left. Arm one left. And here we go. Now it's working. Wonderful. Dubai ground, Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee, request pushback and startup.
Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee. Contact Dubai ground on 118.35 for pushback and startup clearance.
118.35, sorry. It does definitely help when you put that frequency active. Dubai ground, Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee, request pushback and startup. Okay, all the maps are preloaded. Lovely.
Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee, pushback and startup approved, face northwest.
Pushback and startup approved, facing northwest, Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee. Okay, good. Before start checklist, please. Park and brake. Set. Takeoff speeds and thrust. V1 150, VR 152, V2 156, flex 62. Slides, armed, nose steering disconnect memo, checked. Before start checklist
Taxi to runway
complete.
12 right via Juliet. Juliet 2, Kilo.
Ground from flight deck. So, push and start approved, face northwest, park brake set.
Kilo, Emirates 9 or 5.
Roger, we're just lifting you up. Keep the brakes set, please, and we'll let you know when we're ready. Roger. Which is hopefully going to be any moment now. Yeah, here we go. Continue pushback. That's going to be nose right, facing northwest on Zulu. Okay, release brakes. Park and brake released. Thank you. Start the pushback and stand by for engines.
Emirates 9 Lima Tango, contact tower on 118.1.
Switching to tower, Emirates 9 Lima Tango.
Okay, tower 1181. Okay, and here we go.
Cabin crew, all doors in flight and cross-check. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard Emirates Flight 23 departing from Dubai to Edinburgh. My name is...
Okay, ground. Engine start sequence will be 1 and 2.
We are pleased to have with us Captain Emmanuel and First Officer Stephanie. Joining me in the
Roger,
cabin,
clear to start engine number 1.
Aisha,
Starting 1.
Fatima and Syed.
Okay, 10 seconds, engine 1 start.
I would like to take a moment to go over some important safety information.
Okay, now they are at idle.
Ensure that your seatbelt is fastened low and tight across your lap. To fasten the seatbelt, insert the metal tip into the buckle until you hear a click. To release it, simply lift the buckle. In the event of a loss of cabin pressure, oxygen masks will drop down from the panel above you. To use the mask, pull it towards you to start the flow of oxygen. Place it over your nose and mouth and secure it with the elastic band. Remember to put your own mask on before assisting others.
Emirates to Mike Juliet contact tower on 118.1.
And pull the straps around.
Switching to tower, Emirates 2, Mike Juliet.
Either by pulling the red tabs or by blowing into the
Sky
tubes.
Dubai 1125. Give way to the Saudi A330 on your left.
Your safety is our priority.
Giving way to the Saudi A330, Sky Dubai 1125.
100 has 8 emergency exits. 2 at the front, 2 over.
Alright, we've got a good start number 1, start number 2.
Please take a moment to locate the nearest exit, which may be behind you. Thank you for your attention. We will be taking off shortly, and we wish you a pleasant flight. Captain Emmanuel, the cabin is ready for departure.
Okay, so set brakes. Brake set.
Emirates 905. Give way to the Saudi A330 on your right.
We'll give way to the Saudi A330,
So, engine number
Emirates
2
905.
is starting.
Emirates 803 contact tower on 118.75.
Half an hour delay,
Switching to
just
tower,
because
Emirates 803.
the airplane was not prepared at all. It wasn't refueled, it wasn't catered. Well, then you don't have to complain about delay. We can only fly so fast, which we are definitely gonna do. But the rest is beyond us. Okay, ground, we've got 2 good engine starts. You clear disconnect, show me the pin on the left side, please. Have a good day, bye-bye. So, there's the tuck, and that is the lifter. Here's the ramp agent holding a pin. Wonderful. Then let's do the flight controls, please. Full up. Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral. Rudder. Full left. Full right. Neutral. And before or after start checklist, please. RTOs,
609
off. Flight controls,
Taxi to
checked.
parking
Ground
via
clearance
Kilo 12,
received. After
Juliet
start
4.
checklist complete.
Kilo 12, Juliet 4, Oman Air 609er.
Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee, request taxi.
Sky Dubai 17, ready for push and start.
Yeah, don't care about other aircraft.
17, push and start approved.
Push and start approved. Sky Dubai 17.
Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee. Taxi to runway 12 left via Zulu, Kilo, Lima 3, Mike 2, cross runway 12 left, then November 2, November 10.
Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee, taxi 12 left via Zulu Kilo, Lima 3, Mike 2, November 10, cross 12 right.
Switching to tower, Sky Dubai 1125.
Okay, so that's gonna be straight ahead. And crossing in Lima 3, that's the second to the right hand side, okay.
Emirates 52, Papa ready for push and
So
start.
Zulu, Kilo,
Emirates 52, Papa,
Okay.
push and start approved.
Push and start approved. Emirates 52, Papa.
park and brake off, let's go.
Sky Dubai 17, ready to taxi.
Sky Dubai 17, taxi to runway 12 left via Papa, Papa 3,
So, brake check.
November.
Brakes, okay.
12 left via Papa, Papa 3, November, Sky Dubai 17.
So, in the meantime, I just noticed it killed my throttle calibration. We don't have a reverser on axis, and this is idle. And now the throttles are behaving much nicer. Good. So, straight ahead, Lima 3 is gonna be on the right-hand side.
Emirates 721, ready to taxi.
So, we'll take that one to the right.
Emirates 721, taxi to runway 12 right via Papa, Papa 4, November 4, cross runway 12 left, then Mike 5, Alpha.
12 right via Papa, Papa 4, November 4, cross runway 12 left, then Mike 5, Alpha Emirates 721.
So Lima 3 and then via
5 contact tower on 118.75.
via Mike 2. They wanted to cross the other runway and then taxi to the holding point from the other side.
Taxi.
That's interesting. Haven't seen him do that yet.
Papa, taxi to runway 12 right via kilo 15 kilo.
I'll tell you what, I'll ask him if he can just go via Mike.
12 right via kilo 15, kilo Emirates 52 Papa.
Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee, any chance to continue via Mike and Mike 1?
Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee, approved. Continue taxi via Mike and Mike 1 to runway 12 left.
Mike 1, 1 to left, Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee, thank you. Okay, that's a lot easier for sure. Okay then, that means we're gonna turn left over here.
Switching to tower, sky Dubai 647.
And that saves us the hassle of going the long way around via runway crossing and then to the other side. Alright, good. So I've got no changes to the takeoff briefing. We'll keep everything the way we planned it. So, auto brake, config, squawk is checked.
Emirates 721 contact tower on 118.75.
Okay, taxi checklist please.
Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee, contact tower on 118.75. Have a good afternoon.
118.75, Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee.
Switching to tower, Emirates 72.
Okay, so taxi checklist, flap setting, config 1 plus F, radar on, taxi checklist complete. Dubai Tower, Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee, ready for departure.
Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee, heavy, Dubai Tower, runway 12 left, wind 120 at 8, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 12 left, clear for takeoff, Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee heavy. Cabin crew, prepare for departure. Line up checklist. So, cabin secured, takeoff runway 12 left, full length, pack 1 and 2, on, lineup checklist complete. Okay, are you ready? Then we'll make it a rolling takeoff. So, weather and terrain. Even though departing in this direction, terrain is probably more of an issue. Takeoff. And flag 62, SRS, runway, auto thrust blue. Thrust set. Knots.
Dubai Tower, NAS Express 221, established on the ILS runway 12 right.
NAS Express 221, roger.
V1.
Rotate. Positive climb. Gear up. Nav. Checked. Autopilot 1. Today I'm using the autopilot a little bit earlier because I just want to enjoy the views.
Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee. Contact departure.
Contact departure Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee. Thrust decline, climb, auto thrust. Dubai departure Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee passing 1300, climbing 4000. Flap 0. Speed checked.
Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee. Heavy, Minhad departure. Radar contact. Climb 5000
Flap
direct.
0.
Astis.
Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee, climbing 5000 via Astis, thank you. Okay, 5000 blue. So, flaps are up, acceleration flow pattern, flaps up, spoilers retracted, landing gear up, packs on. And that's complete. Nose light can certainly come off. Alright, we're turning away from the terrain.
Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee. Climb flight level 190.
Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee, climbing flight level 190. So, Alt 5000 magenta, and 190 is checked. Alt 19000 blue. Alright, lovely. So we're up and in the air. Really not common.
Alpha Yankee. Contact Al Maktoum radar on 124.025.
124025, Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee. Al Maktoum radar, Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee heavy, passing 3500, climbing level 190.
Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee. Heavy. Al Maktoum radar. Identified. Good afternoon. Dubai QNH 1000.
QNH 1000, Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee. Look at the buildings in the dust down there. That's nice, isn't it? One of the things I enjoy about flying in Dubai so much.
Departure Sky Dubai 17-2000 for 4000. Sky Dubai 17, radar contact. Climb and maintain 7000. Climb 7000, Sky Dubai 17.
All right, so
Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee. Climb flight level 240.
Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee, climb flight level 240.
Emirates 721 rear contact. Climb and maintain.
Now this is quite the view, isn't it? Certainly not going to complain about that one.
Sky Dubai 17 contact Al Maktoum radar on 124.025.
Over to Al Maktoum radar on 124.025. East Sky Dubai 17.
So that's 24,000 blue.
Departure Sky Dubai 647-2000 for 4000.
Then let's see, arrival at
Sky Dubai
1810.
647. Radar contact. Climb and maintain
Is that
12
correct?
12000.
No, it isn't.
12-1000.
1915 is the expected arrival time.
Emirates 2 Mike Juliet contact.
Let's get a
UAE
let's get a
center
wind
on
update.
118
There's got to be a problem with the
decimal
winds.
minute 25.
Al Maktoum
Received,
radar.
insert.
Sky Dubai 17, 1000.
Sky Dubai 17, radar contact.
Oh, it insists on
Sky Dubai
1810.
1125, contact UAE center.
Okay,
on
well, I
118
suppose we're going to
decimal
find
925.
out. In the meantime, 33 is optimum, 380 is the cruise level. That looks all good.
Emirates 721 contact.
Then let's head over into the step outs for a second here.
124.025.
Optimum point.
Al Maktoum radar on 124.025.
Level 400.
721. Departure SpiceJet 60 2000 for 4000.
And insert that,
SpiceJet
please.
60, radar contact. Climb and maintain 12, 12000.
Climb 12, 12000, SpiceJet 60.
Alright, then we're just going to keep the optimum and get rid of the other step climb.
721, radar
And
contact.
that's all we need.
Sky Dubai 647 contact Al
So the
Maktoum
nav
radar
aids are clear.
on
Let's see if we can lock onto
124.025.
CPDLC.
Over to Al Maktoum radar
ADC connect.
Sky Dubai 647.
OMDW.
Al Maktoum radar Sky Dubai
Where is it?
647 at 1000. Sky Dubai 647 radar
OMDM.
contact. Dubai approach Sky Dubai 9010 flight level 150.
Okay, notify.
Sky Dubai 9010 radar
Let's see if
contact.
CPDLC is going to work now or not.
Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee. Climb flight level 270.
Emirates 12 Yankee climbing flight level 270. Okay, lights off, signs off,
52 Papa
EFIS
contact.
is
Al
set,
Maktoum
and with
radar
that we're
on
up and on
124.025.
the way.
Switching to UAE center on 118.
Well, then enjoy the flight, and I'll see you on approach to Edinburgh. friends, we are approaching Edinburgh, and we got exactly the kind of weather that we were hoping for. So let's go ahead and start preparing ourselves for the approach into Edinburgh. The sun is about to set, we have maybe another hour of daylight or so, but we got a pretty thick cloud coverage, so it'll be rather dark downstairs. Now, let's go ahead and have a look into what we are expecting. So, here's our weather. 210 at 22, gust 38, and 7,000 meters visibility in light drizzle, and the sky is cloudy. QNH
Emirates
99905.
2 Alpha Yankee, contact Edinburgh, approach on 121.205.
121205, Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee. Edinburgh approach, Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee, passing level 148, descending 170 in Mount Haven. Okay, we're entering
Emirates
the
2
clouds,
Alpha
14
Yankee Heavy,
degrees.
Edinburgh approach identified. Evening, sir. Expect the ILS runway 24 approach into Edinburgh.
Expect ILS 24, Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee. Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee, request heading 340 to avoid weather. Not gonna fly too close to this, because this is a huge thing over here.
Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee approved. Deviate as necessary to avoid weather. Report back when on course.
Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee, deviation is necessary, approved. Thank you. Okay, heading 350. That should keep us at a nice distance to the front. Thrust dial, open descent heading. Okay, so in order to get a little bit nicer VNAV profile here, let's just go direct to center fix, as I don't see us flying back to any of that stuff here. So center fix, course in 240. Okay, and insert. Heading. Good, so slightly below profile, absolutely fine. Alright, so let me take you over our setup. We are going to fly the ILS approach runway 24, which we do have on a chart. That's hopefully going to come in a view any moment now. Here it is. I'm already going to switch this to night mode, since it is definitely getting dark quick now. So that approach starts at 9DE India Tango Hotel, which is the Fox India point down there. We do have a 3-degree glide slope going down to a minimum of 600 feet. Go around is straight at 3000. At least one thing that is easy to do. Now, apart from that, we don't really have any specials today, nor do we have any non-standards. But we do of course have some weather. We can see that there's a lot of yellow coming in to the airport right now. So let's talk about what we are reasonably expecting. And he said deviate as necessary, so I'm going to go left by 10 degrees over here in order not to fly too far off from the airport. So, the main problem is going to be the hills in front of the runway, together with the gusts. There is a high, very high probability for wind shear on this arrival, so let's go over the wind shear escape maneuver. Whoever notices the wind shear first, regardless if it's the aircraft, if it's one of us, call it out. The procedure is going to be thrust levers in a toga. If the autopilot is connected at that moment, we'll keep the autopilot on and let it do its thing. The autopilot is very likely going to do that better than we can. Now, from there on, if the autopilot is off, rotate 15 degrees, follow the flight director. Make sure the speed brake is retracted, do not change configuration until we're out of wind shear, and once we're out, then we can make a decision on the further course of action. Our alternates are better. If we look down here, Manchester is actually good at the moment, so we could at any time just go to Manchester if needed. Okay. And that's the main points I have here. So lights are on, signs on, LS is selected, and that's about it. Let's see, no nav aids, wonderful. Cool. Let's do 1,000 feet a minute here. Okay, so let's start the approach briefing, please. Thanks. So radar vector ILS approach runway 24, minimum 600, go around straight at 3000. Extra fuel and time is 4,700 kilos, which equals 54 minutes, or at least another 2 attempts. Even though with that weather, I don't see much reason to make a second attempt here. If the first fails, maybe we can do a second, because we do have the fuel, otherwise it's off to the alternates. Which could become worse at any moment here as well, huh? Okay, lovely, thanks for that. Now for our approach itself, flight directors, ILS, manual landing. I don't trust the airplane to do that automatically, and neither would I want to. Manual landing, config full, maximum reverse, VTV is on to vacate the runway at the end. 1000 to go. And that's the most important thing here. Vacate to the left, I've got no hotspots for ataxian, and that's it. Any questions? We talked about the specials and non-standards. And about the threats as well. Alright, cool. So then we can tell ATC that we can basically take vectors to final approach from this point, can we? Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee, request radar vectors for the approach.
Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee, descend altitude 4000, turn right, heading 360 vectors for the ILS runway 24 approach.
Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee, descend 4000, right 360 vectors ILS 24. Throttle, open descent, alt flight level 40 blue. Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee, confirm the QNH. Speed, vertical speed. Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee, please confirm the QNH. Lovely cell, right on the final approach fix here.
Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee, QNH 90907.
QNH 90907, Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee. Set QNH. QNH 997 cross check, passing 5600 now. Approach checklist, please. So, Baro ref, QNH 90907, minimum Baro 600, runway condition. That one should definitely have changed. Okay, runway condition is wet. I tell you what, I'll actually make that. Yeah, we'll keep it on wet. Okay, and auto brake, BTV. Approach checklist complete.
Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee Heavy. Proceed direct CI-24. Descend altitude 3000 until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 24 approach.
Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee, direct terminal final runway 24. Descend 3000 until established. Cleared ILS 24. Okay, 3000 blue and nav. So, this is definitely going to be an interesting one. 11 miles to the final, so 21 miles to run. That means we are on a rather good altitude here, of course, with 56 knots of headwind on the final. We can take things very, very easily. I gotta say, I'm looking forward to this one. This is gonna be a lot of fun. Alright, so is there anything else we gotta do? I don't really think so. Let's quickly talk to the cabin crew, see if they are strapped in. Khadija, are you here?
Yes, Captain, I'm here and ready to assist.
thanks. It will become very turbulent now, so please take your seats and strap in for the landing.
Understood, Captain. Cabin crew, take seats for landing.
Okay, land 3 dual, autopilot 1 and 2, glass globe localizer blue. Okay. So, should be more than clear to the cabin crew that they are to be seated. And that also gives them a little bit of a way to handle passengers who might not respect this fasten seatbelt sign. Let's just put it down that way. Okay, flaps 1. Speed checked. Flaps 1. I want to give the aircraft a little bit of that stabilization effect that the flaps typically have.
Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee, contact Edinburgh Tower on 118.705.
118.705, Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee. I just want to say Edinburgh 2 Alpha Yankee. Edinburgh Tower, Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee, Heavy ILS 24.
Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee. Heavy
Lock
Edinburgh
start.
Tower. Roger, continue approach runway 24.
Okay, we'll do a nice CDA over here. Look at that, 60 knots headwind at the moment. I've flown to Edinburgh more than often enough in the real world to know that these conditions in the real world, I wouldn't trust the autopilot to stay engaged. It could very well disengage. On the 737 it did more than often enough, where the turbulence just overwhelmed the autopilot. Lock. So, what does the general weather look like? Well, not too shabby, at least the red isn't anywhere close to the airport. I think it's going to be just about alright. Glass globe star, go around altitude 3000 set. Okay, so the missed approach is going to be turbulent, but not deadly. That's the important thing. Glide slope. Still 57 knots headwind. Ground speed already just 129 knots. So things are going to take a little time here on the glide slope.
Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee. Heavy Edinburgh Tower. Winds 210 at 25. Runway 24, cleared to land.
Runway 24, clear to land, Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee. Okay, 210 at 25, I updated that on the FMS.
$2,500.
Checked. We can configure at 2000 here, no problem. So, that cell may just about drift into the approach, but it's only the green part that's over the airport. That's fine with me. Edinburgh really is a lovely city. Very much recommend it to visit. Okay, gear down. Actually, flaps 2 first. Still in conf 1. Okay, gear down. Flaps 3. Speed checked. Flaps 3. And flaps full. Speed checked. Flaps full. So a little bit of wind here, driving ground speed mini up quite a bit. Okay, cabin. You should be ready. And he is. Okay, landing checklist. Eco memo, landing no blue, landing checklist complete. Okay then. Manual flight. Approach 1. So, I think the runway is coming inside. I can see the puppy.
$1,000.
Checked. Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee wind check. So here's the hills that are going to cause the turbulence.
Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee. Winds 210 at 25.
100 above, 500.
Checked.
400. Minimum.
Continue. Okay, wipers on.
300.
That's some turbulence for us. Correcting.
200.
So with that headwind, we are still going into the touchdown
100.
zone. Absolutely stabilized.
50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 10. 5.
That was an interesting touchdown. Spoilers, reverse green, BTV. Okay, wipers off, please. And manual brakes. Well, that was a pretty interesting final approach there. We surely got our turbulence.
Brake, max braking.
Oh, come on. We are fine. We're absolutely fine. Might have been a little bit enthusiastic. Alright, down to 10 knots.
Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee. Welcome to Edinburgh. Contact ground on 121.75. 5 sight.
121.755 Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee. Edinburgh ground, Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee, request taxi to gate 18. Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee, correction, request taxi to gate 16.
Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee. Taxi to Southeast Pier. Stand 18 by Alpha Lima Golf. Have a good evening.
Alpha Lima Golf, and to confirm the stand is 16, Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee. Okay, let's bring it
Emirates
on
2
to
Alpha Yankee.
Alpha
Confirming
first.
stand is 16B. Continue taxi via Golf to stand 16B.
Thank you, stand 16 via Alpha Lima Golf, Emirates 2 Alpha Yankee. Alright. So, small word on the final approach here, since some people in the flight sim community might say, oh, it wasn't entirely stabilized. Weather like this and altitudes like this, you are not going to be able to chase the glide slope. That's just not happening. But as long as the airplane is in a position, that's wide body talk now, as long as it is in a position where you can maintain a decent descent rate, so normal pitch, normal attitude, and still get the airplane down safely into the touchdown zone, then you can kind of continue here. Because it's pretty hard with an airplane like this, if not to say impossible, to remain exactly on the glide slope. And remember, at low altitudes you can deviate from the path and the glide slope. The thing that counts is the touchdown zone, and that's where we got the airplane into. Now, we did have a little pitching here. That was exactly when we went over one of those hills. And yeah, stuff like that can just cause the descent rate to go a little crazy there temporarily. I wouldn't even be convinced that it was the actual airplane descending that quickly, because, you know, mass and stuff like that. But the air around us definitely started moving for a second. But since we basically got out of that immediately again, I thought it's alright to continue the approach like that. Obviously, some of the mechanics inside the simulator are working a little bit different than in the real world as well. So in the real world, it would be highly unlikely that the airplane would just give you such rate of descent from one second to the other. Alright, nonetheless, that's a little bit of the theory that went into this landing and the decision making over here. So, with that, we've made it over to our destination airport. We don't have any after landing checklist, fine with me. Let's see if we can convince GSX to give us a little bit of marshalling here. We're going Alpha, Lima, Golf, stand 16. Okay, so I think it's Southeast Pier. 16 heavy, no follow me needed. Handling by Swissport. Okay, start the APU please. Wipers on. Right side's clear. Okay, our gate area is clear. I can see that much already. So, straight ahead over here, and then Golf is gonna be to the right. Stand 15 parks over here already, 16 is over here, I think. So, lights off. So, can we actually see something down here? Would be rather helpful right now. Yep, 16 is in front over there. Good. Okay, so the guidance is on. Here's the center line for 16. Okay, A359 is on the guidance system. So that might have been a little bit too nice and slow. So a couple more meters. 4, 3, 2, 1, stop. And that is not too far. Okay, APU bleed on, parking brake set, shutdown 1, shutdown 2. Cabin crew, all doors in park. Okay, so the engines are running down, past 5%, beacon off, seatbelts off, fuel pumps off, parking checklist please. Parking brake hot shocks, brake set, wing light off, parking checklist complete. Okay, so shocks in a position, GPU comes as well. Come on GSX, we're at the parking position. Okay, revoke GSX services. That's fine. I don't care. Well, so let's go. Surveillance system, transponder mode, standby, yes. Fuel. Let's see, we used 42,150 and we were supposed to use 41.8. So yeah, used slightly more, that's absolutely fine, and that's everything I can do for you guys for the time being. Let's just go over here, data, and position page is it in here, monitor. Okay, the IRS drift is absolutely fine for this flight, and I tend to say with that we are done for the day. So, thank you very much for flying along everyone. I do hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I should get a blast at this one. Very much looking forward to the next flight into weather like this, but in the meantime it's going to be up to you. Tell me how you liked today's flight in the comments below. Let me know if you liked today's ATC, and last but not least, if you really love what I'm doing on this channel, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me a Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to see you all again on the next one.